What if I told you that a company worth $28 billion was built almost entirely on money that didn't exist, not lost, not stolen, just invented? And the people who tried to expose it, the journalists, the whistleblowers, the short sellers, they were the ones who got investigated. This is Wirecard, and it's the biggest accounting fraud in European history. Let me introduce you to Markus Braun, Austrian, soft-spoken, always wore a black turtleneck like he was the Steve Jobs of payments. He ran Wirecard, a German fintech company that processed digital payments. Think of it like PayPal, except PayPal was real. By 2018, Wirecard was worth more than Deutsche Bank. It had just joined the DAX, Germany's most prestigious stock index. The financial press called it a national champion. Politicians praised it. Regulators protected it. Investors poured billions into it. There was just one problem. A huge chunk of the business didn't exist. Here's how the fraud worked. Wirecard claimed to process payments in Asia, Philippines, Singapore, India, markets that were hard to verify, hard to audit. They said they held 1.9 billion euros in cash in accounts at 2 Filipino banks, trust fund escrow accounts, third-party acquirers. The language was deliberately confusing, but the money was there. Auditors confirmed it. Yeah, why? One of the most prestigious accounting firms in the world signed off on it for 9 years straight. Except when investigators finally called the Filipino banks directly, both banks said the same thing. We have no record of these accounts. 1.9 billion euros. Gone. Except it was never there to begin with. Now here's where this story gets insane. The Financial Times had been reporting on Wirecard's suspicious numbers since 2015. Their reporters found fake contracts, inflated revenues, customers that didn't exist. Wirecard's response? They hired private investigators to surveil the journalists. They filed criminal complaints against the reporters. The German financial regulator, BaFin, didn't investigate Wirecard. They investigated the short sellers betting against it. In February 2019, BaFin actually banned short selling on Wirecard stock entirely. One of the only times in history a regulator did this for a private company. They were protecting the fraud, and it kept going, because the more people attacked Wirecard, the more the true believers doubled down. SoftBank invested 900 million euros. That's the same fund that backed Uber, WeWork, countless others. Deutsche Bank provided credit. So did a consortium of 15 other major banks. They all did their due diligence. They all missed it. Or they didn't want to see it. By June 2020, EY finally refused to sign off on the annual accounts. They said they couldn't verify the 1.9 billion euros. Within days, the CEO resigned. The stock collapsed 98% in a week. And then the COO, a man named Marsalek, disappeared. He was gone before anyone could arrest him. Interpol issued a red notice. He was spotted in Belarus, then Moscow. He's believed to be under Russian intelligence protection to this day. He has never faced trial. Markus Braun was arrested. He sat in a German prison awaiting trial for 3 years. The trial finally started in 2024. He pleaded not guilty. The whistleblowers inside the company who tried to raise alarms, they were fired or sidelined. The auditors at EY faced no criminal charges in Germany. BaFin, the regulator that banned short sellers, instead of investigating the fraud, their president resigned. No prison, no fines, a resignation, 1.9 billion euros in cash that was never there. $28 billion of market value that evaporated. Thousands of employees who lost their jobs and their pensions. Retail investors who lost everything. And the man who orchestrated it is probably sitting in Moscow right now, untouchable. Here's what scares me about Wirecard. It wasn't some obscure startup. It was in the DAX. It was audited by EY. It was regulated by BaFin. It was backed by SoftBank. Every single layer of protection that's supposed to catch fraud failed. And when journalists found it, they were treated as the criminals. The system didn't fail Wirecard investors. The system worked exactly as it was designed to work, for the people inside it. The next Wirecard is already in an index somewhere, already audited, already rated. You just don't know which one yet.